Hey folks, David Horowitz from Retrium here. When is it appropriate to talk about things that are outside of our control in a sprint retrospective? I'm not even talking about the things that are inside an organization's control, but outside of your own locus of control. Things like that stakeholder who's frustrating to deal with and is blocking your work, or that other team that you have a dependency on, and so we just can't be as productive as we could be, or the lack of budget to hire a new engineer to improve the number of hours we have to work on this product. I'm talking about things that are truly outside of your control. Things that are happening in the world, beyond you, beyond the team, and beyond the organization. This could be political events that are upsetting to you. It could be a stock market crash that has taken the value of your portfolio down by 50%. It could be something like a global event like COVID that fundamentally changes the way that we act and the way that we are and the way that we experience life. When is it appropriate to discuss those things in your retrospective? And to this, I have two rules that you should follow. The first is there has to be psychological safety on the team to discuss these things. Political events can be very sensitive. People can have very different views that they hold religiously and don't really feel comfortable talking about them at work, and that should be respected. But there are also times when these issues are things that the entire team experiences, and people do feel psychologically safe discussing them. A simple way of testing that is to run a quick safety check on that issue. If you want to learn more about safety check, there's a link right there for you. But if you've confirmed that everyone feels psychologically safe to talk about that particular issue, the next step in asking yourself, should we talk about it, is, well, is it the most important thing to discuss? There might be other things that are more pressing, things that we actually do have control over that are fast, easy, and we can just go and implement and change and make our lives better. So if so, go talk about them and do them. But in many cases, these events, like COVID, for example, are so fundamentally important to the way that our emotional health is and the way that we experience our lives and our ability to be productive at work that they drown out any other concern we might have. And if that's the case, the teams that make the mistake of not talking about those issues will suffer the most. So it's important to bring them up intentionally and say, hey folks, let's talk about how is, for example, COVID impacting us as a team. What's going on in your personal lives that we can share? At a minimum, that will build empathy on the team for what everyone's going through. And in the best case, you might actually discover things that you can do to step into responsibility as a team, to find fixes to those issues. And you might discover that what you thought was out of your control, actually you can bring under your control, whether through your emotional response or through a change in what you actually do in your day-to-day life. So that's my two-step process. Is there psychological safety around this issue? If yes, go on to the next one. Is it important enough to discuss? If the answer is yes to both of those, go for it. It's important to talk about, and it will serve your team well. Hey, if this was a helpful video for you, share it with your friends and colleagues. Let them know also about when and how to talk about these issues at work in your retrospectives. And if you have any questions, comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.